to do a quick review on this 2.5 liter ultrasonic cleaner I picked up from Harbor Freight probably about a year ago. This is item number 95563. I hadn't really used it up until now, which is why I'm waiting to review it. I bought it on some great sale last year. I just happened to catch it, and it was somewhere around $50 then, so I got it for somewhere just under 40 bucks with a coupon. But right now they're showing them at $84.99 on sale. So with a 25% off coupon, you could pick one up for $63.74 plus tax. But it works great. It comes with a lid. I don't usually use the lid. I just put it on there to store it. It does have a tray that lifts out. These steel handles here, these were something I made. They do not come with those. It's like this laying in there. So it will get hot in here if you turn the heater on. So when you're trying to take your things out, if you're grabbing down in there, it is super hot. It's going to burn you. So I would recommend doing a modification of sorts to pick this thing with zip ties or anything, or something maybe like what I have done. I'm going to change mine again, what I'd made here out of this piano wire. I just have them going into these holes here, but I had some pretty heavy stuff on it last night. When I was pulling it out, one of them came loose and everything crashed down in it, and I had a hot bath on my hands. So I'm going to pierce the hole the rest of the way through, stick the wire and bend it up so they cannot get out. But don't just put a zip tie on this ring right here. When you pick it up, things are going to fall and splash around. So that's just an FYI on that. The only thing I really used it for before last night was cleaning my wife's jewelry with a little bit of Simple Green 50/50 with water. Man, those things came out brilliant. But I've been cleaning some really nasty parts, and here's an example of a push rod that is just all tarnished and baked with oil and this, that, and the other. This was one that was bent. Here's a handful of the others that I put in it last night. This was 2 cycles of 8 minutes, and they're absolutely degreased inside and out, perfectly clean. Since I did have a splash over the front, I noticed some water up underneath this last night, so I pried this up, and it was wet. So this is an area to be careful with. I'll need to stick this back down. But if you're emptying it, cleaning it, whatnot, pour the water off the back and try to keep it away from this control panel. It's very simple. Plug it in. It defaults to 180 seconds, 280, 380, 480 is its max. So 8 minutes is the longest cycle you can do cleaning with it. Then you'll have to turn it back on. One thing I don't like about it, after it shuts itself off on the timer, it defaults back to 180. Actually, it starts with 90. And then you have to take it back up if you want to do a long cycle again. So I've got it on 480. I can turn it on. Hopefully you can hear it. Turn it off. The set. And then this TC turns on the heater right here. It does get super hot. So hot you can't put your fingers in it without pulling them back out. I don't know how hot it is, but not boiling hot, just under that. I would recommend putting, if you're mixing with water, put hot water in first, as hot as you can get, and that'll help the heater come up to speed. But after it gets hot, it stays hot. And it does have a thermostat control in it. This light will go on and off. But that's the basic principle on it. I'm going to throw some things in it, give you a before and after, and show you how well it works. Alright, well, I'm getting ready to clean these things here. Hopefully you can see how nasty they are. And there's some carbon buildup on them. I'm also going to throw in a couple of exhaust valves that have got a lot of carbon built up on them, and a couple of intake valves with some carbon on them as well. I don't know what this is going to do, but we're going to try it anyway. So I've got the heater on. I'm going to run the first cycle at 480 seconds. I'm using a mixture of 50/50 simple purple power, 50/50 purple power and water. Intake valves aren't quite all the way in there, but here we go. if you can see it getting cloudy. I can already see the grime coming off of them. So we'll let this run a cycle and see what it takes to get them clean. Okay, well that was one 480-second cycle, or 8 minutes. So I'm just going to lift it up out of here and see how they're starting to look. Wow, hopefully you can see how much cleaner they are right now. Try to put my thumb there. I'm going to try to do this without any scrubbing or anything. It is cleaning the valves up. I can't tell if it's taking the carbon off. I'll have to check those after it's finished, but I'm going to run another cycle here and just see what we do. Alright, well here's the end of the second cycle. Vast improvement. There's still a little bit in there. I'm sure a toothbrush would take that out real quick, but just for grins I'm going to run it one more time and then I'll clean the rest up by hand. Okay, well this is the third cycle. Let's see what they look like now. Well, they look pretty good. Let me get them out of here and get them dried off and I'll show you the results. Alright, well here they are. They've been rinsed with hot water and dried off with air. Every single one of them is super clean, not a speck on them except this one right here. A little bit that it didn't take off. So that's about the extent of my effort to clean these up. No scrubbing, no nothing. Just set them in there, go do something else, come back, check it, start them again. It did not take all the carbon off the valves. They look better. You can see this still got a lot on it. You can definitely see where it was sitting in the tank. But I'm not using these anyway, but if I were, that'd be wire brushed off. I just threw them in there because they were laying around. But all in all, this thing works great. I highly recommend picking one up. You could use it for small carburetors.